Let us study gravitational potential energy. Potential energy definition you people already studied in lower classes. Once again I will say you what is meant by potential energy. Potential energy is the energy possessed by a body because of its position or state. Now same thing I am explaining for or I am using for gravitational potential energy. Gravitational potential energy is the energy possessed by a body because of its state or position in the gravitational field. So once again, what is meant by potential energy? Potential energy means what? It is the energy possessed by a body because of its position or state. Now what is gravitational potential energy? Gravitational potential energy is the energy possessed by a body because of its position or state in the gravitational field. Now I will explain what is gravitational field. Just imagine this is the earth. This is its center. Around the earth, till how much distance earth can be able to attract the object? Till that much distance around the earth is known as gravitational field. Now we people are studying about potential energy first. What is the formula for potential energy? You all are knowing that is mgh. The formula for finding potential energy of the object which is on the surface of the earth or above the surface of the earth. You people already studied, that is mgh. Now we are getting a new formula for finding potential energy, that is which potential energy? Gravitational potential energy. Now you see, for that first I am showing you the object is at rest on the surface of the earth. Then we can say that which formula we will use for finding that? mgh. Now once it is moving beyond the surface of the earth, then we can say that the object is moved till this much distance. After that it is stopped at a particular distance. Now we can say that again this body is exerting which one? Potential energy. Potential energy, in other way we can say that resting energy. When a body does not have any motion, any movement, then that body possesses potential energy. Now it is already stopped its movement. That particular time, how much potential energy it is possessing? That again we can find out by using this equation. P is equal to mgh. Now we people are studying about gravitational potential energy. Now one more thing I am saying you, as and when the object is moving upward direction, the value of g become minus. When an object is falling downward direction, coming downward direction, then the value of g will be positive. Now the value of g is becoming minus. Why it is becoming minus? Because the object is moving against the gravitational force. Because of that, the value of g is becoming minus when an object is moving upward direction. But at the same time, when an object is coming downward direction, that is towards the gravitational force, because of that the value of g become positive. Now we are studying about gravitational potential energy. So here we are keeping the object again at the top, that means above the surface of the earth at a particular height. So now we people are using a formula. We are not finding any calculation here, no answer we are finding, only we are studying the formula for finding the gravitational potential energy. So for finding gravitational potential energy, we are having one formula with us, that is capital G into capital M into small m upon capital R plus small capital R plus small h. So here I am saying you capital R means the radius of the earth. Then h means from the surface of the earth till which distance the object moved and stopped there. This distance we can write as small h. Then capital M, that is the mass of the earth. Mass of the earth we can represent by putting capital M. Then we people already studied the value of G in the previous topic. That is a constant value. It is a constant. We had already studied about this. Capital G, that is equal to how much? 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton meter square per kilogram square. It is a constant. It is a fixed value. Now you have to see that here one more formula. That means one more thing you have to keep in your mind. Here minus value is coming. That is only because of the object is beyond, above the surface of the earth. Because of that, the G exerting on this object is negative. Why? It is against the gravitational force. Because of that, here in the formula minus value is there. We had studied before. That means you people might be studied in 9th standard. One more formula for finding gravitational potential energy. That is minus small g into m, small m upon small h. This small g, same thing only we people are writing here in this equation. Small g means what? We people already studied before. Small g is equal to, that means gravitational force exerted by the earth, that is already derived before. So what is that? Capital G m upon capital R. R means what? That is the height of the object. Here now the object is remaining here. In this height place we had taken radius of the earth plus the height of the object from the surface of the earth. Because of that only R plus H taken. If it is on the surface of the earth, then we have to take only the value of radius of the earth. Now what is the radius of the earth? That is 6,400 kilometer. 6,400 kilometer, or we can write it as 6.4 into 10 raised to 6 meter. These are things we will use for calculation purpose, but now you must know the formula for finding gravitational potential energy. What is that? Gravitational potential energy is equal to minus capital G, capital M, then small m upon capital R plus small h. I think all these values are clear to you. Okay. Now we will study about what is meant by escape velocity. Listen children, I am drawing again earth here. Now around the earth, everywhere atmosphere is there. Again beyond that, beyond its atmosphere, there will be space. So here means the earth is lying somewhere in the universe. Now I am saying this is the center of the earth. Now this is the surface of the earth. So we can say that 0 meter or 0 kilometer or 0 measure is there. That means it is already on the surface of the earth. So its height is 0. Now after that, if we people are throwing a ball from the surface of the earth, what will happen to it? It will go some distance from above the surface of the earth. Afterwards it will rest for a while, then it comes down. You people already knowing this example. Again I am saying you. So here suppose when I thrown a stone from the surface of the earth just imagine it is reached up till here. You can find that this object again, this object is falling down. Why? Because of Earth's gravitational pull. Again I am throwing with more energy, I am throwing the object, throwing the stone upward direction. So you can find that again it moves with a high speed and till a particular height it reaches, again it is coming down. Why? Earth is having its gravitational field there, it is able to pull the object downward. Now again with very high speed we can say that the initial velocity, that means with which energy I am throwing, that is representing by putting the symbol U. Final velocity we are representing by putting V. So with which velocity I am throwing, that is known as the initial velocity. If it is very high, so you can find that more and more distance it go, then just imagine it is reached there. Again suppose in this area also gravitational field is there, that object will fall down. Now again with more energy, that means we cannot be able to do manually, with the help of a machine we have to throw. That means with the initial very high initial velocity, if we throw, you can find that it goes till a very height. After that, that object cannot fall down. That means such a high and such a velocity, such a initial velocity U, we are sending or we are throwing that object reaches at a height. After that, it cannot come down, even it cannot move upward. One particular height it reaches, then that height, that object remains in a stable condition. It cannot move downward and it cannot move upward. That velocity is known as escape velocity. That is known as escape velocity. We can say that with such a escape velocity, this object, which object we are throwing, that object is escaping gravitational field of the planet. Now we can say that from the Earth we are sending, so we can say that that object escaping the gravitational field of the Earth, then we can say that beyond that it should not move. The place where it is reaching, there it should be stable, it should be stationary. Then we can say that that velocity is known as escape velocity. Sometimes what is there, with which force we people are sending or with which velocity we are throwing the object. Then after crossing this distance, again it may go. So that velocity we cannot say as escape velocity. Escape velocity means what? Once we throw the object with a velocity with which the object reaches a certain height, afterwards it rests there permanently, further it cannot move, then we can say that that velocity is the escape velocity. Not this object, this velocity, here velocity is not there, here the zero velocity is there, okay? But at the same time, with which velocity we are throwing, this initial velocity is known as escape velocity. I think you all are clear with this discussion, this explanation. Now you read the book, find that any doubt is there, then you can ask.